Want to welcome in former advisor to President Ronald Reagan and Republican strategist Ed Rollins and political analyst and best-selling author Mark Halpern. It is great to have you on this morning. Ed, just want to get your take on the fact that we're going to have between 10 and 15 GOP debates before we get to the general election. And according to Politico this morning, candidates that were not included in tonight's debate, Francis Suarez, Will Hurd, Larry Elder, and Perry Johnson, they are criticizing the RNC for not making the process fair. Perry Johnson said he's going to sue the RNC. He said he qualified, and they're deliberately keeping him off the stage. How about that?
Well, obviously, it's going to be a distraction. Not going to distract from tonight. It's going to distract as we move forward down. And the reality is the RNC is trying to run all the debates this time. I'm not sure they're going to be able to do that. When you've got the front runner, Donald Trump, who's not going to debate, probably won't debate any debates. And at the end of the day, you may not have a presidential debate, because I'm sure if I was advising Biden, I wouldn't let Biden debate either. So I think you got a bunch of people trying to get Trump's job or his nomination debating against themselves, and that's not a good place to be.
Ed, good to see you. What did you get wrong about evaluating Ron DeSantis' potential?
When I started off, I was trying to create a grassroots movement for him. He basically could not move forward because he had the legislative session, what have you. I didn't know him. I didn't know him well, and certainly as I saw him participate, I just saw. I've seen thousands of candidates in my life, and I've been in 8 presidential campaigns. I just didn't think he had it, and so at the end of the day, I just decided I wasn't going to spend my time and energy.
But Ed, what is that? What is it that he doesn't have?
He's not a charismatic guy. He basically bounces around on the positions. He's governor of the 3rd largest state in the country, and obviously he's got some controversial things. I was not running the super PAC. I was not running this campaign, so my dropping out was not a big deal. It was a personal choice on my part, and at this point in time, he would not be my candidate.
Mark, follow-up to the follow-up, or are you good?
Well, again, I'd just like you to be a little more specific, Ed, because you have seen a lot of candidates. You obviously saw some potential in it.
I don't see the potential there, being perfectly honest.
Is it his personality? Is it his political skill? Is it his record? What is it that you think makes it?
There's a charisma. You've been around the game a long time. There's a charisma that some candidates have. Some candidates can connect with voters.
Yeah. Who do you like now, Ed?
I'm just, my sense today is Trump's going to be the nominee of our party, no matter what else they throw at him. So I'm a Republican. I'll support the president, support whoever the candidate is.
Let me ask you a question, Ed, because you've been at this for a long time, and you were a part of some of the most famous debates that we've had. Behind you, I think, is that a portrait of Teddy Roosevelt?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay, so he made the bully pulpit famous. I'm wondering if you think Trump not debating is a good decision, just based on the fact that we've got a former president who, if he goes on stage and stands behind a lectern, all of a sudden he looks like all of these. He's no longer got the bully pulpit as a former president. He doesn't have the bully pulpit because he now looks like everybody else, just standing behind a lectern. Is this a good decision in the early going here?
In the early going, considering all the legal problems that Trump has and what have you, I think it would be foolish to debate. To go up there today and let a bunch of no-names bat him around, it would be a foolish decision at this point in time.
Question.
Maybe further down the road. Maybe further down the road, you may make that choice to debate. But I certainly would not. If I was running this campaign, I certainly wouldn't let him debate.
Okay. And I apologize for interrupting you. Just a question about 1984. So Ronald Reagan, the first debate did not go well for President Reagan. And there were questions then, and you think about the age factor then. Reagan was nowhere near as old as Joe Biden is right now. And Reagan knew that age was going to come up in that second debate, and he had that now famous line to Walter Mondale. He said something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing, "But I will not make age an issue in this debate. I will not, for political purposes, use my opponent's youth and inexperience to my advantage." How did you prepare Ronald Reagan for that? And what do you think his team should do, Joe Biden's team should do? Because that question's going to come his way if he makes it to the debate stage.
Historically, incumbent presidents don't do well on debates. You go back to any Ford, Carter, what have you. And Reagan basically, who was a very accomplished performer, got overbriefed. Dick Darman and Jim Baker ran the debate preparation the first time. And Baker thought he was an expert on debate, which he wasn't. And they basically got him sort of over-prepped. There was too much junk thrown at him. And the reality is, the second debate, when Mrs. Reagan was very upset, Paul Laxalt and I and the campaign took over the debate.
Yeah.
And we let him be himself. We let him basically be more relaxed. We said to him, you've got all the knowledge in the world. You've got all the substance in the world. We need to answer this one issue. And he said, don't worry about it. I have the answer.
Yeah, the
I
former
have
actor.
my response. And a lot of people take credit for it, but it was his response.
You let Reagan perform, right? The former actor let Reagan be Reagan, right?
Reagan be Reagan.
Yeah. All right. Ed Rollins, hope to do this again soon. Mark Halperin, thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you got an answer, Mark, to your questions.
I have a million questions for Ed
Yeah,
always,
yeah,
but
we could keep this
I
going,
appreciate
definitely.
being able to visit even briefly.
All right. Our
Good
pleasure.
to see you, my friend. How are
Thanks,
you?
Ed.